Okay, let's create a landscape, and this tutorial is based on a file I created to a speed modeling video some weeks ago, I guess. So I'm going to create something very much similar which I created at 10. So if you have seen that and you asked a tutorial about that, then here you have it. So I'm going to start by adding here a plane, and then I'm going to scale this plane like this, and then I'm going to add here some loop cuts. So something like this is very okay, and the other direction also similar amount of those. And now I can start extruding areas where I wanna have the landscape kind of features in this place. And also I need to smooth very much every time I do something, so be aware of that. Control plus and smooth that also, and maybe here also something like this. I'm just using some very basic features of Blender to create this. Okay, and maybe here also some sort of. Actually, I'm going to extrude multiple things at the same time, so it's kind of faster. Control plus and then smooth. Maybe here something like this. And smooth also. Okay, looking quite okay, I guess. Maybe here also smooth. And I'm going to select this with the selector, brush selector. The shortcut is C, by the way. And smooth this also. And remember to save your project every time you do something. That's at least what I'm doing. People are actually shouting to me because I'm saving so much, but there's a reason, because my Blender just crashes so often, so I just need to save every time I do something. It's kind of in my spine to save all the time. Okay, we have quite detailed landscape here already. And now I'm going to add here smooth shading by clicking this button here. And then the next thing is to add subdivision surface modify, which creates kind of more smoothness to this place. Maybe this is a little bit higher mountain here. And smooth, and then let's move it. And maybe I add here that kind of loop, and maybe Control plus and smooth again. Okay. And now with the proportional editing here selected, you can kind of sculpt this place to add some features to the landscape which you kind of like to see here. This is not supposed to be very big place. This is actually supposed to be very small place. Like if there's a tree, the tree should be something like. And this is actually maybe a little bit too small. Maybe the tree would be something like this. So remember that trees are that size in this this place. So it's supposed to be quite small place. At least that's the idea. Okay, let's extrude that and then smooth again. Okay, we have selected very much good places here to show, and next thing to do is to add here some materials. And I'm going to add here new editor by dragging this widget here, and I'm going to select here node editor, and let's click new, and I'm going to, you should click this first, this shader nodes, and then click new, and I'm going to call this landscape. Okay, and okay, next thing to do is to add here a texture, and I'm going to add image texture by dragging it here, and let's connect this here. And this texture is going to be a stencil map which we are going to use to separate the mountains from the grass, I mean the rock from the grass. So these areas are going to be like rock, like here and here and then here and so on. So and then these flat areas are going to be grass, like here and so on. So we are going to draw those areas to see where we are going to add those. So let's select everything in edit mode and press U to unwrap it. And now we should see here, if we add UV image editor, we see here this our new unwrap, and it looks very good for this project. So I click this new button and I'm going to make this a little bit bigger. So I select those both and write multiply 2, and this is going to be stencil, and I'm going to select white color here, and then OK. And let's save this image by selecting here image and save as image, and you should find the correct folder, and I have this folder here, and I'm going to save it as a stencil.png like that, which is OK. And now we can kind of make this smaller, because those are not very important for us to see at this moment. And then let's go here, texture paint, and then I forgot this one. Then you should select here this stencil, so now it's easier to see what's going on there. And then we have now, when we are in texture paint mode, we have here these tools we can use to paint textures. So let's click this one. So now we are having black color, and with black color we are selecting the areas where you wanna have the rocks. And here the curve, I'm going to select something like, let's see what happens with this one. Okay, this is very good brush for this, I think. And then I'm going to use a little bit more strength to this. So let's just start painting the areas where we wanna have the rock. So black is rock and white is grass. Remember that. And then just paint them. And this takes a little bit, but it's okay. Just remember that it's not going to be exactly like this, because this is just a stencil map. We can edit this stencil map in the cycles nodes also a little bit to make those sharper or add more details inside of those, like noise textures or something like that. So just paint it and you will create nice looking stencil map. Maybe I will speed up this video for the painting process, because maybe you don't wanna see me clicking here around so much. And by the way, we can also edit this later if it feels like that there is a problem which we wanna kind of erase. And if you wanna paint with white color, you can also do it by clicking this one. And now you're painting white, so you can kind of fix some areas where you wanna have more of that grass. And then if you have some problems there like here, then you can use this soften brush and just blur those problems away. Let's add more strength to it so it's faster. We don't wanna click this forever here. We just wanna create fast some stencil map. Okay. Any problems around? Not? Maybe this I'm going to paint. And here. Okay, so now we need to save this image again, because we just create a texture in the Blender, but it's not saved in the file. So let's go here and save image like that. Okay. Okay, I tried to tweak a little bit the sound settings also, and I'm now in the textures.com and I'm trying to find here some good texture for the grass. So let's write the grass, and we have lots of different types of grass, and I'm going to select one and you are going to select one which pleases you. And this is one good, and maybe this, and maybe this also. So it's up to you which is good to you. I'm trying to select something also. Okay, how this looks like if I zoom it. It's not zooming at all. Okay, I'm not going to select this. This is actually very good. I'm going to download that one. And because I am using the free textures, I can download those bigger ones. So this is okay. And then move it in the folder where you are going to save your all textures. And my folder is this one, and here I'm going to select ground, and then I'm going to save it here, and then I'm going to copy this, and now I'm going to Blender back, and here let's duplicate this by pressing Shift+D, and now click this open icon and then find the texture you just downloaded. And we can also unplug this one. So we are using this texture here as a diffuse texture. Is this a correct one? Yeah. You should have node wrangle. So let's go here, user preferences and add-ons, and here node wrangle, this one, and then activate that one, and then save user settings like that, and then Ctrl+T, and we are using the UVs. And if we render now, you see that the textures are a little bit too big, so we need to change this setting here. Let's put something like 3 as a start. Maybe it's even still a little bit too big, so let's write something like 5, and I think it's still too big. So 8 maybe. This is my last. Okay, 8 is very good. And then we need a texture for the rock, so let's go here and let's write there rock, and we should find something that's good for our project. And which is very good? Which one do you like more? I'm going to download this one, so let's just click here, and again let's move it in the folder where you are going to save your textures. And this is my folder, and this is Cliff, this kind of, and then let's go back to Blender, and let's duplicate again this one, and then let's open here the texture here, and I'm using this one, and I'm going to plug this also here, and then, and now when we alt right click like this, we mix those textures together. And then we have here this stencil map. So let's connect this color here to this one. And now we have selected with this stencil map the rock areas with the rocks texture, and with that white color we are using the grass texture. And this is exactly what we wanted to do. Alright, so now when we have this here, we are going to change a little bit. By the way, Shift plus Z, if you didn't know this, you go rendered and solid view. So Shift plus Z, okay. And I'm using here sun lamp because I wanna see a little bit more realistically what's going on here. Okay, so this looks better. Even I actually think it looks worse, but it will look better. And let's go here in the rendered settings, and we are going to use the micro displacement. So I'm going to use here the feature set and supported. By the way, this is going to experimental, sorry, and this didn't make any change now to this file yet, but if we go now in the this modifiers tab, you see that the subsurf modifier changed a little bit. So we have here this adaptive feature. So if I click this, it still didn't get any change to this, but it actually creates something. It adds more subdivisions to the areas where we are closer of the landscape, if that makes sense. So there should be less subdivisions here than what is there. Okay, so that's the meaning of that. And then let's go here in material and settings, and then displacement, and we are using both. And now if we click, if we add here this to the to the displacement here, we should see that this is actually displacement, adding displacement to this landscape. Sorry about my bad speech. If I control track this one, I remove those. Actually, I wanna remove that one so we can see a little bit better. So now we can see that it's actually creating some details there. But you see that we have here the preview settings, which is 8 pixels, and then we have the render settings, which is 1 pixels. But we wanna see actually in the preview also a little bit. So for a while we are going to use here something a little bit smaller. By the way, it's up to your computer what you can do here. If you double press tab, you will update this view. And now let's add here math node and connect it there, and then let's add here multiply. And now if we add here some settings, we make big changes to this landscape, as you can see. And this is actually, this is not the final touch. You should remember that, because we are having much more details in the final render than what we have here. So that's why it's okay if it's a little bit blocky here, because it's going to be fixed. And also let's see actually which one was this is the cliff texture, so I wanna use that here. So let's connect this cliff texture here and then deselect this one here, and I wanna also only displace those cliffs. And then we have here this stencil. So let's duplicate this mix shader and let's add it here, and then let's connect this here. So now we are adding displacement only to the cliffs, as you can see. And now let's remove a little bit the value, displacement value with this multiply node, and double press tab and you update this view. So now the cliffs look like this, maybe even less. Okay, that was a little bit too little. Okay, and then let's add an additional details to this texture, to this displacement, by adding here noise texture. And let's mix that noise texture with that this one here. So when we have the noise here, we can now control with this one. If we add here like that, we have only the noise here around. And let's add more details to this noise, because it seems like that there is actually nothing happening. And maybe the scale also a little bit smaller. So now you should start seeing something that is happening there. I think this is very okay, something like this. And now we can with this control a little bit how much we have each of those. And I'm going to add this noise in both of those, to the grass and to that cliff area also. And let's duplicate this multiply here, and I'm going to multiply this noise. Maybe a little bit less those details. Because this grass should not be too detailed, I think. Maybe that's okay. Let's see what it looks like now with the textures on. So let's connect this back to the color, and you see that there is some new kind of details around. Okay, so I wanna also add more noise to these rock areas. So I'm duplicating again this noise texture. I mean this mix node, sorry. And then I'm going to duplicate this noise, and then I'm going to connect this here into the factory. And I'm also adding actually, let's see. Yeah, I'm going to add this here. So this is the base displacement, and this is the noise, and this is the mixed noise texture, I guess. Actually, I wanna use only this stencil here. So let's connect it here. And if I switch those, okay, this looks better. So let's add here more details to that area, and then let's add the multiply here and multiply this, and then let's see this again. I'm clicking with Ctrl Shift plus left mouse button, it's like that, and double press tab, and you see that we are having a little bit more too much of those, so we need to reduce this noise a little bit. from this. So it's up to you how much you wanna have there, but I think this is very okay like that. You can, by the way, also add negative values there. So if you wanna go inside of this like that, I don't know why should you do that, but you can do it if you want, if your project kind of needs that. I'm just trying to find out some good settings for my file. Okay, I think it's kind of better now. Now after playing like 15 minutes, I think maybe I should remove a little bit of those. It's always, when you take a little pause from modeling, you see kind of new eyes your project, which is very nice. You should take some pauses, go out and walk, or just play something, or play guitar or whatever, but you should take little pauses from your project. Okay, I think it's now better. Maybe the details a little bigger, so it don't look like so repetitive. Yeah, I think it looks better now. Yes. Okay, so let's now change a little bit those textures. I mean, let's add additional details to those. So let's make a little bit more space here and move those away. And this texture is, let's make it bigger. This is the grass texture. And let's add here mix RGB and connect it here. And then let's connect this also in this bottom slot. So let's add here curve and let's connect it here, and then let's make it darker, just like that. And if we Control Shift click this, you see that we are making very dark grass, just like we wanted. And let's Control Shift right left click this one, and we see the mixed feature, the mixed version of this texture. So let's add here noise, of course, and let's connect this factory here to this factory. So now you can see how it looks like when we have mixed those. With this you can control where you have in each of those, and you can even add additional control by adding here color ramp, and with this you can kind of make very sharp edges between those areas if you want to do so. I think I'm going to stay quite smooth and maybe a little bit bigger spots. Something like this is very okay to me. And then let's go here and see how it looks like. And it looks very okay. And now I'm using another add-on, and the add-on is this PBR materials, and you download that from here, 3dwolf.com/materials, and it's this add-on. This is free add-on and it's very good, so you just download it from here and then you install it in Blender. So I'm using that one. So I'm not going to use this diffuse as a final material here. Instead of that, I'm using here, I have here the same nodes as we have here. So I'm using here, selecting something that's quite okay for us. Maybe grass. Let's see what happens with this one. So I connect it there and then this here. And let's see. Does it look like a grass? Okay, but the problem now is that we have the grass everywhere. I mean, this rock is also grass, and this is not what we want to do. We don't want to have rock, grass rock, or whatever that can even be. So what we do, we first let's first select some smaller area here, so it kind of is more responding to this viewport. Okay, so I'm going to duplicate this here, and let's see, is this the grass one? Yeah, and this grass is going here, so I connect this here, and then I'm going to add here rock when I find something like that, this one, and I connect it here. And now this looks very weird because this is mix RGB, and that's why we wanna add here mix shader, and let's connect this here and this here and then this here, and now this is the final result. So let's see. I think this grass looks a little bit too reflective. I'm going to reduce a little bit. I mean, I'm going to add a little bit more roughness to that grass. That looks, I guess, a little bit better. And then next thing to do is to edit a little bit this rock texture also. And I wanna have the similar kind of setup as we have here in this grass. So this is the grass thing, and I'm going to duplicate this and this, and let's add it here. And then I'm going to this has to be the rock, yes. So let's connect this in both of those slots, just like in the grass texture, like that. And then let's connect this in the albedo. Okay, this is wrong. What is this? Okay, this is the stencil. Okay, remove this alpha and let's add this color instead. So now we have what we wanted to have. Okay, and then let's add here the curves, and let's connect it here, each of any of those difference, and now we can see what's going on there. And now we can add a little bit more details to this one, because rock is more hard thing, hard rock. It's up to you what kind of details you wanna have. Maybe even more distortion. I think it's okay like that. So let's see. Looking pretty okay. And with this you can, by the way, control how much you have reflectiveness in your model. I'm going to connect this as a test, this roughness, to see what happens. Okay, let's add here ramp. It's getting so slow. I think I need to edit a little bit these settings here, because it's getting so slow. So I'm using here 10 maybe, and then light paths, and I'm going to remove those. And here I'm going to use only 6 bounces, which I think is okay, and maybe even less. something like that, and transmission I'm going to reduce a little bit of that also. And now I think it responds a little bit faster, which is what I wanted. So Control Shift left click this one, and let's edit these values. So if I make this more white, what happens? It looks so wet. And there should not be, I think, values that are full white and full black, because it's not natural. So if I go like this, then I will remove the reflections. I will diffuse more the material with that. Okay, now I think we need some sort of plants there, at least bushes or something like that. So let's go back to textures.com here, and let's write there something like bush. And then we figure out which kind of bushes we wanna have there. Maybe this one, or if you wanna be very romantic, you can add like these flower bushes. How do you pronounce that? So, but yeah, I'm going with this one, and I'm going to download it like that, and then I'm going to add it in the folder. But I actually have already this specific texture here. I just cropped it in Photoshop. So in Photoshop you can kind of crop like that. Press C and then crop, and then you have it. So that's what I did. This is already alpha masked, so it's working perfectly for our project. So now let's open the file here, and let's select some place where you wanna have the first bush. So you need to activate one add-on, user preferences, and then import images as planes. So activate that add-on to work with this like that. So we are going here and add mesh, import images as planes, this one, and then use alpha and pre-multiplied, and then again. Okay, rotate X 90 degrees. And here I'm going to select texture mode so I can see the texture. And I'm going in edit mode and duplicate this one and rotate Z 90 degrees without proportional editing. Like that. And this is our bush model. We are going with this one. But we make some edits to that one, because now if we look it closely. So you see that if we are like in here, you see this opposite direction going thing, and I don't wanna have that. It makes it look like a true 2D. So how I fix it is this way. Let's go here in material, and you have this material which is created. It's created automatically. So let's duplicate this transparent and let's mix it with this one. And now if we go here in rendered mode, you see that it's partly transparent. But let's add here layer weight node, and let's connect this facing here. And now we need to set some values there, but yet let's add also here ramp, color ramp, and let's see what this color ramp is now doing by shift control left clicking it. So we wanna have here black color and here white color. That's our goal. So something like this is very good. So now it's always like having the other one, which is going directly this direction, it's going to be white and the other is going to be black, and that's what we want to have. Okay, so let's connect this back here. And now if we go in this kind of view, you see that the texture is kind of disappearing always when we look it in different direction, and that's okay. That's what we wanted to have there. And I think it's working kind of okay now. And now we can just duplicate this text, this object in places where you wanna have those. But now I think it's at this point it's very good to find the place where we wanna take the photo of this place. So let's go, for example, here in my project, and Alt plus Control plus 0, and then Shift plus F, and then with WASD keys you can move around like this. And I think I'm going to render it out from somewhere like here, and let's see how it looks like. Okay, then I'm going to edit this light source a little bit. I'm going maybe something like this. Let's see how it looks like that. Okay, this place looks a little bit too wet to me now when I rotated this light source, so I think I need to edit a little bit those materials. So the rock texture, maybe I remove this roughness, and let's connect this in the reflectiveness, I guess, and let's duplicate this one here, and then let's make it black and white. Let's see how it looks like here, and then maybe like this, or invert. Okay, this might be a little bit better. And let's reduce the roughness a little bit. How is the albedo looking like that after this material? Oh, let's go darker. It's reflecting too much, I guess. Okay, maybe this is better. Let's see how the roughness map looks like with this. Okay, I'm not going to use that one. And then let's do something to that grass. Here is the grass, and I'm connecting this to the normal, and then I'm adding here bump, and connect this here and this to the height. So now we get some bump mapping from the texture itself, which is in this case, I guess, very okay. Now, with this you can control how much you have those. But this is so I don't know, maybe I try to find some other texture here, some other material. Maybe I'm using this wood here. I know this is a little bit weird, but I guess this works better for the leaves or the grass object itself, not for grass surface. So I'm using this wood texture instead. And I think it works better. Also, I wanna add here some color variation. So where is the grass thing? So I have here this one, and I'm duplicating this, and then I'm going to add here, I'm going to reduce this at the first place, and then I'm going to add a little bit red color here. Like that, and then I make this a little bit thicker. I think it's better like that. Also, this boost object here needs a little bit more love, to be honest. So it can't be diffuse. Of course it can't be diffuse because it's not diffuse. Here I think I'm going to use this grass shader. Let's see, I think it's better like that. Yeah, I think it looks better. And I'm going to rotate it a little bit because those shadows are wrong. It's kind of... Okay, let's add here also a band node. Connect this here and this here. And now we just need to rotate it as much as it seems like that it's working. I wanna isolate this. Blender always remembers the light source when you isolate your object, so that's okay. And let's change a little bit these settings. Maybe I connect this also to the translucency. That I think makes sense. And then add here RGB curves, and then I just make this translucent version of this texture a little bit brighter. Okay, I think it makes sense. And let's press this numpad slash again. So what was I doing? I was adding those bushes around. So let's select this one and then Alt plus D duplicate it around. And by adding them with Alt plus D, we prevent we don't add more time for the rendering because those are kind of the same. They are sharing the same mesh data, if that makes sense. So we kind of use the same object to render it in different places. So let's add those around. Okay, how it looks like. I think quite okay. Maybe here also somewhere. And I'm going to delete that one. And let's see. Okay, maybe it's quite okay like that. Okay, there maybe is one. So duplicate them, that, and then move here. Oh, it looks like now. A little bit more up. That looks quite okay. I think the color is a little bit wrong to this landscape. Those are a little bit too green. But I can also change the landscape color, which I'm going to do. So we have here this grass material. So let's here add more green color to the landscape. So now those bushes are also blending a little bit better to the landscape, which I think is okay, like that. And then maybe the sun is a little bit more from up coming. That's alright, and I'm going to move this a little bit closer, like this. So I had here this little corner, so I wanted to hide that. Okay, so now we can add here also the water surface. So I just create it from the plane, just like that. And let's move it here, and here we have it. And now we need to move also a little bit up, or move this down. Because, you know. Okay, looking very okay. Now let's create a water material for that. Let's click here, this new, and then let's go PBR materials and actually I'm going to use only glossy here, so I remove this dielectric and let's add here glossy BSDF and let's connect this to the surface. So now if we render, we are having this kind of shader, but I'm going to reduce the roughness, something like 0.0, maybe 2 might be okay, or even sharper, 1.5. Okay, that's quite okay to me. And also I make this a little bit darker because it's water. It should not be exactly same color as the landscape. And maybe I can even reduce even more the surface reflections. I mean, make it sharper. Why am I talking like that? Why can't I speak proper English? No, it's up to you how dark water you wanna create. You can even change the color. If you wanna have blood lake there, you can do it now. It's up to you. But just tint a little bit in blue. And by the way, the color will change if we add here the environment map. And that's what we are actually going to do. But first let's finish this water. So I'm going to leave that Granel there, but maybe if I figure out some way to use it. So I'm going to add here noise texture, and then I'm going to add here bump, and then I'm going to connect this here and this to the height of the bump. And then I'm going to change these settings until we find something that looks like a water. Maybe distortion also a little bit. And maybe not that much of those waves. Something like that looks quite okay. Now the water looks actually a little bit too dark to me, so let's go back. I can, by the way, change the color also like that. Let's add here mix RGB, and let's connect this here and here something darker, and let's connect this here and this Fresnel to that one. And now we have the color variation there, and it's up to you how you use it. Maybe let's add here also color ramp, because it seems that it's a little bit too subtle effect. Where is the black color? Okay, I'm going to switch those like that. And here something. Here this color, and here something like this. No, something like this. I always get the same result. So if I make here black, dark, I mean, or I switch those and have it. Okay, this is the okay version. Sorry about all the weirdness. My videos are so weird, to be honest. I'm just playing with the settings, and those I'm getting very weird results. This has nothing to be physics or anything like that. I'm just using my artistic freedom to create crazy things. I'm like painting basically with this program. Maybe that's good way to explain what I'm doing here, but yeah, sometimes it works and sometimes it's not working at all. But yeah, you can use your own workflow. If you are kind of scientific person, maybe you can love to my videos, or maybe not. Maybe you are crying. But yes, that's how I work with Blender. So let's select some environment map for this. So we go here in world settings, and then let's click this little button here and select here environment texture, and let's open thumbnail. And you should have some sort of library of those. Every 3D model should have something like this in their computer. And I think I'm going to use this one at this moment. So basically we add some lighting with this one, but as you can see it looks wrong now, because the sun lamp is going from the other direction than the environment map. So we need to rotate this environment map, and we click here, and you see that we created that environment map, and let's select it and press Ctrl+T, and now we can rotate this in Z axis. So let's go a little bit back so we can see. Actually we can do one trick. Let's go in solid mode here, and then press N, and then open this one, and then display. There's it. Display and word background. So now we can see the environment map here in the solid mode, and this is very good because you don't need to rotate that. So let's rotate it something like this. So of course you have different environment map, but I rotate it like that, so the sun lamp is kind of in the same direction with that one, and it's okay like that. Maybe even more. That's by the way weird how. Okay, it's the mountain which is going that direction, I guess. Okay, maybe it's realistic. And then let's add more power to the sun lamp, because this is so dark scene at the moment. Click that, use nodes, and let's add here something like 5, I guess it's okay. And let's add here a little bit yellow tint also to that. And now it started looking a little bit better with this small trick. And now we need a backdrop to this landscape, because we can't use that environment texture, environment map as a background. It's not supposed to be like that. So let's add here, you should download, by the way, some texture, some landscape. So let's go here and maybe Pixabay, and now let's write some mountains, and let's see what we have here. This is quite okay, I think. And okay, I wanna have a little bit also. By the way, okay, I'm going to download it. Okay, it's over sharpened, I think. Okay, let's see how it looks like. I download this big version of it, and let's open it in your favorite image editor, and I'm using it in Photoshop. So if we look very close, okay, it's not looking very bad, to be honest. It's actually quite nice, like that. So I wanna remove that sky from the image. It's not that my kind of thing. So I'm using here the eraser and background eraser, and then I just click here around and remove the sky, just like that. It's very easy and fast and clean. At least for this image. Some images are a little bit harder, but for this it works very well. And let's add another layer here, and let's make it black. Ctrl plus backspace, and you see that we didn't actually make very good results, so we need to be a little bit more clear with this one. So just try to have in this edge area as good looking results as possible, and then the other areas of sky are just you can fix them later. And of course we don't wanna delete anything from that landscape. It can't be transparent. Of course it's not that transparent. Okay, good enough, I think. So now I'm going to add here layer mask, and then I'm going to paint with black color to that layer mask. And the black color means that it's going to remove the details. It's going to add alpha channel to that area. I'm doing a very fast job with this one. So I wanna fix also this blue tint from this image. So I create new layer, and then right click this layer and create clipping mask, and then let's use a brush tool, and then let's alt click somewhere to drag the color, and then let's paint here with this new color, like that. Okay, and then let's select here something like overlay, and then drop a little bit that opacity from that, or maybe color. Nah, overlay is okay. And also I'm going to select this layer, and then I'm going to invert the selection like that. And here I'm going to press delete a few times. Okay, it works. It deleted a little bit of those semi-transparent pixels from that image. So now we don't have that kind of selection anymore. And here we have some holes, so I create here new layer, and then I select some random color here, and then I paint here behind of that layer. So that's how I fix those small pixels like that. And it's working good enough. You know, you are not going to look this image after that so close. Anyway. Okay. So let's just hide this layer, and then let's save this as a PNG file here, and then let's find some folder where you wanna have it. So for me it's this one, and then textures, and then backdrops, and Corsica. Okay, I'm going to call this Corsica because it's the place. And then we can now here in Blender use it as a backdrop. So let's add here with that image as planes tool the image, which is this one. Rotate X 90 degrees, rotate Z 90 degrees, and then let's scale it. Okay, and rotate in Z axis also. And so let's render to see how it looks like. I think it looks very okay, but we need to change also a little bit the material. So let's go in material editor, and let's delete that diffuse, and let's add instead emission, and connect this here and this here. What is going on? Oh, this here. Okay, now it's better. So it's kind of emitting light, just like it should. And maybe I reduce a little bit the strength from that, so it's not too bright. Okay, then we need some background, also some sky to this one. So I'm just adding, just like that previous backdrop, I'm adding new, and I'm going to use this one. You can download whatever kind of texture you want, but I'm using that one because I wanna get rid of this tutorial. So let's scale this bigger and rotate in x-axis 90 degrees and z-axis 90 degrees, and then move it behind of that other layer. And then just position it. And here also we need the emission shader. So let's connect this here and this here. See how it looks like. Looks quite okay, but I think we need to rotate in z-axis 180 degrees. So the sun is almost in the correct spot, but as you can see the sun is not in the correct spot here, but it's kind of okay, it's almost okay, so it's good enough for me. We can rotate this of course if we wanna have it in exact same spot as it is in the image, at least almost. Yeah. And now if you want to have here some other details, for example grass, let's fast create some sort of grass object. Scale in x-axis, and then let's select here, this is new layer by the way, and then let's bevel here and duplicate this one and scale and rotate in x-axis like this. I need to center the camera and something like this is, I think, very okay. And rotate in y-axis and scale maybe. So this is the grass object. I'm going to use this one. And this is not a close-up object. You can't see this very close because it looks bad. So let's click new here and then let's add here the grass shader and let's connect this here and let's see how this looks like now. Let's also rename this object. So here in outliner press numpad period and then click this one and let's name it grass. Okay, and let's go back to the landscape layer. And now if you remember the stencil map we created, where is it, by the way? This one. So let's select it and here go texture mode. Okay, and then let's select this land object and then texture. Okay, and then let's select those grass areas like that with that brush selector tool. All the places where you wanna have grass, because we are creating the selection for the areas. It all makes sense soon. Something like this, and here also. Okay, that's good enough, I think. Then let's here this tab create a new vertex group by pressing this plus icon and then assign, and this is called grass and assign. And now if we deselect this and select, you see we have this selection saved. I'm going to move this a little bit back. Let's see how it looks like. Looks better. Okay, and here let's create a new particle setting, and then let's name this grass, and then we are going to use here. Oh, wrong object. We should have this selected, of course. So grass and then here, and now it looks better. So here in vertex groups we use the grass like that, and then we are using here object, and let's select here the grass. And that looks quite okay, but we need to change a little bit settings. So click this advanced and then go physics and then random size, and maybe the size of all of those also a little bit smaller. Anyways, those are a little bit too big. And then rotation and phase and then random, and also maybe here a little bit randomness. So object Z and here some randomness. So now we have kind of quite good looking grass here, and also we can add more of those. So let's add something like 10,000. Okay, how it looks like with 10,000 grass objects. So let's make them a little bit bigger. The particle settings and size, a little bit add size. Okay, that's getting crazy. Maybe 0.03. And then also let's select those both. Okay, I need to go to edit mode. let's select this grass object here, and let's make some color variation here also. So add here object info, and then crumb, and then drag and drop this here, and we are going to add some random color variation here. So let's use here something like yellowish, and here something like, I don't know, grayish and a little bit darker, I think. And then let's connect this random here. So now if we duplicate this, it's getting new colors. But we need only one, and it's this one. And let's go here back to this layer. And yeah, it's better, I think. Let's see. Let me see. Maybe let's add this also to the translucency. Yeah. Curves, and let's add here a little bit brighter color to that translucent. And yeah, this is how you add grass in your landscape. Let's box select this, so we don't render anything we don't wanna render. And you can create other kind of flowers there if you want to, but I think I'm going to stay with this. But I will change a little bit this bush object. So let's select it, and let's duplicate this, and let's make it a little bit darker. Something like that. And also I wanna edit a little bit that stone material. So where on earth is it? We should actually group those because there is so much going on here. Where is the there is stencil, so that this is the grass. No, this is a lesson why you should group things. So this is the cliff texture, and then let's follow it. Yeah, and here is the rock. So I wanna make it darker. So let's add here curves, and then let's make it with this a little bit darker, the albedo. Why it's so darn dark, glossy looking thing? I'm trying to reduce all the time it, but it's like made of some sort of, I don't know. Let's reduce this so much, and let's add more roundness. Okay, if we connect this here and just change this roundness, maybe it will fix it. Yeah, it's fixing it. Kind of. Maybe even we can go back a little bit with this. No, when the glossiness is a little bit removed from this. Okay, so now I think we can render this out. If you want, you can of course add more details. You can add someone fishing there, getting fishes, or you can add, I don't know, space station. Okay, but yeah, this is where I'm going to stop this tutorial. I'm going to render this out just. So if there's something I wanna tweak before rendering, it might happen that I will come back after I click that render button and I'm like, okay, I need to fix something which looks very bad in the render. But now I think it's going to be rendered like that. I'm using only this one much bounces, and by the way, let's select this one. Oh, this is the particle system, so this will cause a problem. As you can see, we don't have here anymore those displacements, because it's because of this particle system. We should have this before that one, and now those are coming back. But let's press tab 2 times. The crash might actually, is this problem fixed in this Blender version? Okay, it seems to be working quite okay, so that's fixed now. But I add here back this one because it will crash my computer if I have too much of those. I mean, so that's one thing to do before rendering. And then what else? Oh, of course, the samples. So I'm going to render this with 500 samples, and then I'm going to clamp direct with this tree, so it reduces noise a little bit, at least I hope so. And that's it. Now I'm going to change this water. Let's select the water. Where is the water? Here, and isolate it, and let's see how it looks like. So let's call this material water, by the way. So I make this noise a little bit smaller, and I'm going to reduce a little bit the distortion from it. Only slight amount of distortion is good. Okay, let's go back from the isolate mode, and let's see how it looks like now. I think it looks better. Call me stupid if you are not thinking like that, but I think it looks better. And maybe I reduce a little bit the bumpiness, so it's not so much adding those bump features to this one. Or what do you think? How it looks like? Maybe 0.05. Okay, the distant is also one that adds problems. So it's kind of very calm day, no much wind, so the water is very calm and cool. And also this blue backdrop there. So I wanna also change a little bit its color, so I add here RGB curves also, and I make it a little bit darker. Okay, nothing happens. Actually, I'm changing wrong one. I should add it here in emission. So here, and then I'm going to add here blue channel, a little bit more blue color, and maybe reduce a little bit red. Okay, maybe it's too dark now. Let's go back a little bit. Okay, now it looks better to me. It looks like something you maybe would see in a mountains. And the water also, maybe it has a little bit too much of those blue colors. So let's go back, because the environment is adding here already blue color. So that was very temporary to add here in the material settings. Those, I think so. Yes. Only a little bit. Maybe a little bit more greenish color. Okay, now I can render this out. So let's press F12. Okay, I actually got the CUDA error here. So let's go here and select this land object, and let's put there something like 1.5. And let's see if we still have the CUDA error. So now it's rendering. Okay, no error, it seems. Like that. Yes, so I will stop recording now. Okay, I think we should add here a little bit mist. So sorry about this. I'm going to press F11, and then I select this camera, and here in camera settings I use here mist, and I show limits. Actually mist is enough, and the mist is going to end here in the sky, and it's going to start somewhere like here. I think this is very good setting for this, but if you wanna edit it, you can go here first, here passes and mist pass, and then let's go here in world settings, and here mist pass, and with these values you can edit how dense the mist is. But let's press F12 again, and we are going to save this image by pressing F3, and I'm going to save it as 16-bit TIFF file, and let's call this one and save as image. Okay, and then let's select here slot 2, and then let's go here and let's reduce the samples, because we wanna render only the mist pass. I mean, we are going to render the whole image, but the mist pass is the one we are going to use. So that's why I don't wanna waste too much time by rendering everything again. So I'm going to use here something like maybe 30 samples, and then let's press F12. Okay, here we have it. So let's open this node editor a little bit bigger, and here use this what are those compositing nodes, and use nodes, and here let's connect this mist pass to the image, and let's press F3, and let's call this maybe mist, and 16-bit TIFF file, and save as image. And now we can open Photoshop, and then let's open and this one, and then let's drag and drop that over it like that, and then we can here use screen. And now if we reduce this opacity from this green layer, we kind of control how much we have the mist here, which is quite nice effect. Let's add here curves, and let's click it, right click, and create clipping mask. So now we are adding curves only to that mist pass, and with these curves we can control how much we have the mist here and where it actually is. I mean, we can add like here some clean area, and then we have here in the center more mist, just by playing it with like that. And this is very nice, I think, to play like that. I mean, we can just select area where we have the mist. So I wanna have more clean here in app. And then I add more mist again to the background. So there is kind of this kind of clean area. And I think from the water there should happen to come mist. The mist is kind of rising from the water, so that's why I do this kind of edit. And yeah, it looks very cool, I think. And then let's select everything and Control plus Shift plus C and Control V, and we duplicated all of those layers and created new layer based on all of those. And I'm going to use Camera Raw filter, and let's wait it to open. And I click this auto, and then I reduce exposure. And now I can control with these settings how warm this image is. And now it's up to you what you wanna do. I'm trying to have this kind of summer feeling here. And highlights I add here also to highlight a little bit orange color, and shadows I add a little bit, maybe purple, only a little bit of that. I think this is very good like that. And if you wanna have more mist, you can kind of add this over back to the bottom, or duplicate those both like this. Duplicate layers and then set overhand. Now if we change the opacity, we can control even more the mist effect. Yes, so this is the tutorial. And by the way, there is also one thing you can do with this mist pass. So if we duplicate this, actually even more, let's duplicate it, and then let's select the layer and then press Ctrl plus C, and then let's go to channels and press here new and Ctrl plus V. So now we have this kind of mask here. So let's Control left click this, and then let's hide it, and let's go here and hide that, and then what is that, layers, and then I'm going to duplicate all of those, and then I select this layer here now, and then filter, blur and lens blur, and we use that mist pass to blur this image, because the mist pass is kind of the depth of this image, so it's the perfect way to blur the place like that. But I think it's kind of blurring too much, so I press Q to have this kind of kick mask, and then I press Ctrl plus L, and then I kind of edit a little bit this like that. Okay, and let's try again that blur trick. Blur, lens blur, Oh, wrong layer. Press Q to go out from this gig mask and then blur, lens blur. And let's see again. And there's this kind of areas where it's not going to work very well, so don't blur too much because you know, it's just not very cool. And I'm maybe adding a little bit of specular highlights there. But yeah, maybe something like that. And then let's press Ctrl+D to deselect, and then we can blur this area. So let's use here the blur tool, and then let's blur those problematic areas, just like that. Sometimes I'll feel like a Bob Ross when I'm doing these Blender things. I don't know why. Let's add some happy little blur there. Okay, and let's make these back, because those used to be there. Also now I add here curves, and let's edit the whole image like that. So we can make the colors a little bit more clear, as you can maybe say. But yeah, this was the landscape tutorial, and hope you enjoyed this and hope you learned something new, cool tricks about Blender. See you next time in the next video. Goodbye.